All righty, and good evening. And I want to ask you a question. After you publish a LinkedIn post, what happens next? Do you track who engaged with it? Do you notice which topics perform best? Do you follow up with the people who commented? Or does the post disappear into scroll heaven, if you will, while you move on to the next one? Look, here's the truth. Posting without tracking means losing valuable lessons. What gets measured gets improved. Have you heard that before? And what gets repeated becomes a habit. So if you're not testing and you're not measuring and you're not improving, then that becomes your habit. So today, with the help of AI, I'm building a complete LinkedIn content engagement tracker. Okay, that's what we're doing. 7 simple columns: post topic, date posted, people engaged, comments made, replies received, follow up needed, and lessons learned. Because LinkedIn growth shouldn't depend just on your memory, it should be built on a system, a repeatable process that does what? That provides some sort of profit in some way, but it should be built on a system you can study, repeat, and improve. Oh my goodness. Welcome to Daily AI Prompts for Job Seekers. I'm William Craig III, an AI business and career consultant. If you're new to my series, my mission is simple: to help you run your job search like a well-organized job campaign, one with clarity, confidence, and strategy, using AI as your job campaign manager. All right, looks like a few people have said hello in the chat. So let's take a look here. We've got Dawn Lewis. Hey, Dawn. Dawn says, good Thursday evening, everyone. Hope y'all doing well. Look, at least we're both on the same day today, Dawn. I'm glad you're here, as always. Thank you so much for your support. Daniel Velez. Hey, hello, Team William. Oh, my goodness. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Daniel. For those of you who have joined us but are not making yourself known, hey, glad you're here. And for those of you who are watching the replay, glad you're here as well. So before I jump into the prompt, let me just review here what we've done this week. So what did we do? We started out Monday by creating a 4-week LinkedIn content plan. I mean, it's all about planning your work and then working your plan. And then, I shouldn't say and then, but we made sure that our content plan was in alignment with Mary, our fictitious job candidate, with her target role. Then Tuesday, we reviewed that content plan that we created on Monday, and we added resume highlights, accomplishment notes, career positioning statement. And what did we have it do? We had AI create or suggest 5 LinkedIn post angles that, again, are in alignment with Mary and where she is looking to go. We gave it a caveat. Each angle had to be focused on one clear idea, explain why that was fitting for her audience, and that was it. Then yesterday, we actually drafted a LinkedIn post based on the strongest angle of the 5 that were created, gave it a hook, a brief story or insight, a practical takeaway, and a call to action that seemed natural, not salesy or pitchy. And so that's where we went this week. Let's look at what we're talking about today to end, if you will, our week of work. Create a LinkedIn content and engagement tracker. So we started out by planning our work. We went through how to work the plan. And now that we've got content ideas that we can begin working on to actually craft, we need a tracker. This tracker is going to have columns for post topic, date posted, people engaged, comments made, replies received, follow up needed, and lessons learned. All right. And I'm going to just put something in here. Explain why all of these are important I could have spoken it, couldn't I? That would have helped me with my spelling. Important for Mary to know. All righty. Because some of you might be saying, that sounds like a lot of work. Well, guess what? That's what this job campaign, this job search is all about these days. It's a lot of work. And I had the joy of working with someone who was submitting an application. Uh, Took about an hour to get the application completed, but here we go. They got that email that said your application met the qualification criteria. Someone will be following up with you for an interview. And that's what it's all about. All right. So let's do this thing. Do this thing. And I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. We had great weather on the East Coast today, and looking forward to, wow, it's going to get hot again. So as I said to someone earlier, summer's not over. Still got some more summer left. And of course, in this part of the East Coast, we talk about the dog days of August, when we have the 3 H's, where it's hot, what is it? Hazy, hot, and humid. Yeah. So, all right, ChatGPT is thinking out loud. I'm creating this as a reusable spreadsheet tracker for Mary with the requested engagement fields, plus simple structure that makes patterns easy to spot over time. See, now I didn't even tell it to do that. That's the benefit of using AI. It's going to actually point out patterns. I'll also include a brief explanation inside the workbook so she knows how each column supports her job search. And this is why I say you need a job campaign manager like AI. You need a job campaign coach and coordinator like me. Okay. So careertransitionsystem.com, that's the place to go where you can find out how to work with me and have me work with you as your coach to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. All righty. So let's see here. The tracker will have 2 sheets, a working log for Mary's post and a short guide explaining what each field reveals. I'm also adding a small summary area so she can quickly see how many posts are logged, how many follow-ups are pending, and how many replies her activity is generating. And one of the things that we will do is once we get everything in alignment, we can schedule them. That's the feature that we use in LinkedIn so that you're not having to worry about, oh my gosh, what do I post today? What do I post the next? Everything is going to be scheduled in advance. So we can literally sit down and take about an hour and schedule everything for the next 4 weeks. All right. The first verification caught 2 spreadsheet issues before delivery. The blank entry rows were being counted as posts, and the weekly label was being interpreted as a formula. I'm correcting both so the summary stays accurate when Mary begins using the tracker. I love it. I love it. I love it. When I started using ChatGPT 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, it wouldn't catch its own mistakes. The AIs, as you know, are becoming more advanced. And we know that ChatGPT actually jumped the rails a week or so ago and did its own thing during some testing. But here we go. It's doing its own thing here on our behalf this time. So this is a good thing. All right, the workbook is complete and visually checked. The tracker is clean. The guide is readable. The summary formulas start at 0. And the follow-up column, okay. And that it has stopped talking out loud. And so let's get into what it created. So here we go. Created Mary's LinkedIn tracker with a post and engagement log, summary counts for posts, follow-ups, and replies. Yes, no, maybe follow-up sector, a guide explaining why each field matters, and weekly review questions. Each column helps Mary measure visibility, identify valuable contacts, continue conversations, and improve future posts. So let's see here. Why am I seeing? Okay, so I guess this one, yeah, it's the preview, and the other one is the download. I'm going to have to make the screen smaller so we can actually see this. And okay, so let's scroll over. Oops. Oh, I hate when it does this. All right, let's make it. It's, oh goodness, come on. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna close it and open it again and pop it out. And now we'll, all right, let's see here. We're at 100%. And if we scroll over, we should be able to see everything. Let's go up. There we are. All right, so we've got our, oh wait, it's not over all the way. There we are. Use one row for each LinkedIn post. Record the activity while it's fresh, then review the lessons weekly. So, post topic, date posted, people engaged. So, in other words, how many people engaged with the post? And comments made, replies received, follow-up needed, and lessons learned. So, what was the post topic is what we'll enter here. When was it posted? People engaged, how many? And that includes the thumbs up, the likes, the shares. If any comments were made, you want to know what they were, or you can simply put in numbers. The replies received, again, numbers. Notice that we've got everything is going to correlate at the top based on what we're entering here. And then follow-up needed. So we click on follow-up. Is there follow-up needed? Yes, no, or maybe. All right, so that's the drop down. And then this is where you get to create your narrative. What lessons did you learn about that post? Maybe you learned that there wasn't any real traction, no visibility. Maybe you learned that only certain people that you were connected with. Now, let me just say this. You have two options when you're creating posts on LinkedIn. Actually, you have a few. Number one is you can choose to have connections only receive the post. So that's not something I would do. I would test it first with the other option, which is for anyone on or off LinkedIn to see. That's where I would start. And then after, let's say, a few days, 2 or 3 days, you can go back and you can repost it only to your connections. So if you posted it for anyone on or off LinkedIn, you've gone a couple of days, couple of 3 days, and it's crickets. Now we can repost, and this time only to your connections. Now, why would I do that? Because if you didn't get any response for the on or off anybody, then it may mean that the algorithms are not pushing it out to enough people. So when we come back and we do it the next time and we're sending it only to our connections, we should be able to get some responses. And then that's going to help us in our lessons learned. Now, there's another option where you can post it to a group that you belong to. And so that would be my third option, is after you've sent it to people, anybody on or off LinkedIn, after you've sent it to only your connections, then you can send it to groups that you are a member of. And hopefully you're a member of some groups that are active, because not all groups are created equal. And what I mean by that is not all groups are active. There's some groups, man, they tout that they've got thousands of members in their group. But guess what? When you go to the groups and look at when the last post was created in those groups, it might be months. That's not an active group. So don't be drawn in to join a group simply because it has a lot of people as members, and you're thinking, oh, this is going to be great because I'm going to be able to get my information in front of a lot of people. Not necessarily. If the group is not active, it's not going to benefit you. All right. So this is the tracker. Why do we need a tracker? Let's get out of this and understand. Each column helps Mary measure visibility, identify valuable contacts, continue conversation, and improve future posts. So again, from the information that you're going to get from your tracker, you will see who's engaging with your posts. And what you want to do is you want to make notes about who's engaging. Some of these people, because we're looking at anybody on or off LinkedIn, some of these people will be people that you are not connected to. Some of these people may be recruiters, hiring managers. They may be HR people. They may be peers within your industry, but you will find out who they are by doing that, using that first option. Next, from your connections, you'll get to see what kind of response your connections are giving you, what kind of feedback, what kind of engagement. And then, of course, you'll be able to see in the groups that you're a member of. And some of you may decide to go in, take a look at just what I said to see how active the group is, active or inactive they are, and get out of some of those groups. You're able to join 100 groups. I don't suggest that. I would say really 5 to 10. 5 is a good number, 10 maximum, to kind of tread water and see how things are going. Because as you are posting, you want to see what kind of feedback you're getting. Just know that in many groups, you will find recruiters lurking. You will find HR people lurking because they're looking for individuals who are posting real content, serious content that gives a peek into their world. And I'm not going to say they might spend a lot of time in there, but if something comes through and it's of value, what are they going to do? They're going to click on that person to see their profile. And that's where your story that's being told by your profile. I don't remember when we went over that part, but you guys know we did it. That's when they're going to see the story about you, to read your headline. First of all, see that banner, see that headline, see that they're telling the same kind of story that your post is telling about you. They're going to read your about section. They're going to skim it. They're going to skim through your experience section. We did that a few weeks back. And everything should be pointing to you being a person of value that they now are either going to follow, connect with, or say, hey, here's somebody that we want to actually start a recruitment process with. All right. So that's where all of this, and that's how all of this comes together. All right. So I hope you're seeing, if you haven't been seeing the big picture, I hope you're seeing it. And then as it relates to, and all of that is under identifying, measure visibility, identify value contacts, and continue conversations. Now, improving future posts. Again, based on the feedback that you're getting, you should be able to sprinkle some things into the future posts based on what feedback you got in the past. As a matter of fact, guess what? Based on that feedback, that may help decide what the next post will be. It may not be something that chat gave you as a suggestion. It may be something based on what your audience is telling you that they need to hear more about or that they are interested in. They may bring up something where now, yes, you can definitely respond to talk about, hey, well, when I was working at a previous employer, we had a situation like that, and here's what we did. That's fantastic. Now you can take that and say, hey, chat, here's something that came up. Give me an idea of how to approach this in my next post. and what format should it take to be most effective? Because it could be a video, it could be a carousel, it could be an infographic, it could just be a plain text, or it can be an article. All right. See how all this is coming together? And this is why I've shared with you all of these various things over the period of time that we've been working together, especially since June 1. And here we are at the end of July. But we've covered a lot of ground. All of those things we've talked about. And so now, by now, you've got the goods. You know how to do this on your own if that's how you choose to work. I'm just going to close that. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to get rid of this. And boom. All right. So let's get this chat prompt. And there it is. I'm going to put it in the comment section and see what you all have to say, if anything, about what we've covered today. And let's see here. Hey, Shelly joined us. Shelly joined us. She says, good evening, all. Glad you're here. TJ says, hello from 106-degree Arizona. Is that all? Is that all? Wow. 106, man. Oh my goodness. Stay safe. Stay safe. Please stay safe, TJ. And thanks for sharing. Thanks for being here. So I'll give you guys just a few more seconds. I want to see if this is making sense, if this has been of value, if you're seeing how it's all coming together now and how we can, again, manipulate LinkedIn. And I use that word on purpose, manipulate LinkedIn so that it's helping us to tell our story in a way that we haven't been doing in the past. And hopefully, again, you can see how this all comes together, how the resume works with the profile, how the posts work with the resume, how all of these things help to present us as the professional that we want the world to see us as. And again, all right, so not seeing anything pop up in the comment section. And if there's nothing that you all have to say, no questions, comments, or concerns, then I'm going to let you go. Let's see here. Dawn says, yes, it will be helpful for updating my LinkedIn profile. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And again, somewhere between June 1 and today, we've covered all of the areas that you need to understand about making yourself, again, seen as the professional that people actually look at and consider as a serious candidate versus looking at your information and going, next. That's not what we want. All right. All right. I'm not going to belabor the point. I appreciate you hanging in there with me for 23 minutes today. And I want you to know I'm looking forward to sharing with you tomorrow for one last time for a little while. Tomorrow we'll be doing our inspiration, our Friday inspiration coming from the Bible. It's the book for me. Basic instructions before leaving Earth, as some people like to say. But we'll have our inspiration to send us off, not just into the weekend, but into the month of August. Wow. It is. Wow. All right. It's that time. It just is. But nonetheless, again, though I won't be really active, I won't be doing the daily live streams during the month of August. I will be from time to time sharing some information on the YouTube channel. So make sure you're subscribed. If you're viewing this information via LinkedIn, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Simply go to YouTube, type in "Get Up and Get a Job," and you will see me. And just click on subscribe, and you'll be able to subscribe. And certainly, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, or if you got my information, you can do that in another way. But between today and tomorrow, 6 p.m., I want you to stay safe. If you hear or see something that seems out of place, please say something. Let somebody know, all right? And I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, if God say the same. And until then, just remember these three things. God loves you. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. See you tomorrow, everybody.
Wow, that was fantastic. I haven't been this excited to learn about something since I left basketball. Anyway, Mr. Craig did another great job of sharing an AI prompt that anyone can use in their job search. Be sure to join him every day, Monday through Friday at noon Eastern, on his LinkedIn profile or his YouTube channel called Get Up and Get a Job. You can watch the replays there as well. And while you're at it, share this information with someone you know who wants or needs a new job. I've got to run. My team needs me. But keep up the great work, Mr. Craig. You're providing a great service for the community. I'm going to tell all of my players about daily AI prompts for job seekers with William Craig III.